Let's take a look at the Saberforge Oracle lightsaber. So I have two of them here. On the left is a Saberforge Oracle with standard finish, and then on the right is a Saberforge Oracle with the weathered finish. Now these are apprentice sabers, so they're somewhat simpler in design. They're kind of a slimmed down hilt, very ergonomic. They're mostly uniform in diameter except for this taper, the kind of this choke point near the top of the hilt. Now if we take a bit of a closer look, there are these gorgeous windows in the top. So we have these stadium-shaped windows, on the front face and then on the rear of the saber. And then on the sides, there are these additional cutouts. So if you have a hilt like this installed, it'll let lots of light out. So that's always a neat visual effect. Now, on one side of the window, we have the retention screws. So here's the blade retention screw at the top, and then the retention screw for the LED module below that. Now, below that, again, we have this kind of tapered area. This is the choke point, and this is kind of, it makes it a little easier to maneuver the hilt, and it would be advantageous with spinning and that sort of thing. Below that, the activation switch area is knurled, so that's kind of a nice little texture added there. And you can see that in the weathered version, it has this sort of kind of metallic silver and black coloring to it. Now we get to the grip section. So the hilt on the left has a leather wrap to it. It's a dark red kind of leather wrap. And the one on the right doesn't have anything there. It's smooth, although certainly somebody could add a leather wrap onto it later. And then below that we have the CoverTech wheel. You can see that these are two different CoverTech wheel designs. And then finally we get to the pommel. So this knurled area on these hilts, that's the entire pommel. So it is a little bit of a longer pommel. That's kind of the inside. And it is a vented pommel as well. And what's kind of neat with this pommel is it flares out a little bit at the bottom. It almost gives it sort of a reactor type design, or maybe a turbine style design. Now, one thing I did notice is the knurling on these two different Oracle hilts. Well, it's a little bit different. So the kind of diamond knurling is a little bit larger, on the standard finish one, and it's a little bit smaller on this weathered hilt. And then overall, the weathered hilt, it has this kind of tarnished silver look, and, it's just kind of mainly metallic silver with some black. And then the standard finish has these kind of more crisp lines and more of a, brand new look to it. And there's some kind of added polish to this standard finish hilt, just so you know. But, it's a neat little hilt, about 10 inches or 10.8 inches long. So, it's a full-size hilt, but very slimmed down and ergonomic. So that's kind of a nice benefit of that. So feel free to comment below. This has been a look at the Saberforge Oracle lightsaber. And on the left is the standard finish, and on the right is the weathered finish.